the ship into the video/stream description. So if you guys all look at the description, please go and check this thing out if you have Stormworks, because this ship was built by Jesse Gillette, Aqua, and Sal Innovations. And they put a lot of time and effort and work into this thing, so I highly recommend checking it out. For some reason, my camera is not wanting to focus. Oh boy, I love it. Oh, forget it. What I'm getting with the filter is nothing but trouble. Excuse me 1 minute, will you? Yeah, could y'all spread the word that I'm alive? I know I said I wouldn't be doing any more game streams for a while, but this is a more or less an exception. So, I'm going to do a no-clip tour, at least on the exterior. So, starting forward, we have the bow with the forecastle, where you have anchors, equipment storage, winches, and ballards. You've got a wave breaker there with cow vents. Don't really know what those would be used for, but then you have hold number 1, more cow vents, winches, the main cranes and masts, more cargo cranes and other masts, more winches, another hold number 2, the swimming pool, which you would not want to be in really. It was totally not foreshadowing there. Then you have, I think, a crew space, I'm guessing. Oh, broke the game, not going to do that. Well, no, not a crew space. This is just a more or less enclosed wave breaker. Then you've got hold number 3. Then you've got the main crew/passenger accommodation, because this was both a cargo ship and a passenger ship. You've got the lifeboats, some motorized, some not. You've got the gangway and boarding door there. Up at the top, you have the bridge. You've got the stack, engine room skylight, with more cow vents and whatnot, more lifeboats, more deck equipment. Hold number 4, 5, and 6. More cargo cranes and masts, and a crew area in the back with more lifeboats. And then you have the stern. And then you've also got the massive props and the rudder. So, I'm going to have moon physics through this. But other than that, you know, I'll be able to run it. So, as Spammels would normally and famously say in any of his recordings, so without any more stalling, let's begin. And also, I'm not going to be using any of the lights. Uh-oh. See the telegraphs there slowly moving up to full. As you can see, our speed is rapidly increasing. When I ran this normally, I got up to about 17 knots. I think the real ship speed was closer to the 20s, but you know, if Jesse were here, he'd probably be happy to correct that. And if you guys have any questions about the ship, real life or Stormworks, then he is the man to ask. In fact, I believe he was going to try and join the stream as far as being in the chat, but if he joins, please do not bug him, okay? I want to get that out of the way now. Do not bug him in chat if he joins, okay? Ironclad, Style Gaming, BNO, Link Roblox. What's up? What's up, y'all? Ocean Man. Ocean Man. I'm going to stop that because that is copyrighted. So, we're on the bridge. You've got the port bridge wing, I believe. Port or starboard. I don't know. Got an enclosed part of the bridge here where you can look over the bow here. Yeah, I'm gonna just say this is by far one of the most detailed ships that Jesse has ever built on Stormworks. Jesse, Aqua, and Sal, all three of them have built in Stormworks. And this is one that, of course, is based on real life. It is based off the real... I mean, it is a full-blown recreation of the real ship. Okay, so this is no, like, fictional version. This is no custom build. This is a replica of the real ship. The real Jean Laborde, or as y'all know it later on as Oceanos. In fact, I believe the Oceanos version of this will be coming onto the workshop soon. I don't know when, but I would imagine it be coming up rather soon. So, going through here, we have an entrance into the crew areas behind the bridge. Basically, I think officers' lounges and whatnot here. Crew lockers. Here you've got a stairwell that goes down. We'll check that out in a minute. Got a little crew lounge with an entryway there with a little bar. Through here, more crew space with a sitting area with a little dresser. So that's this area. And yes, I'm going to keep the ship sailing on a straight course. I need to check my maps. I need to check my map. Thank you. Speaking of, I need to... do that. Oh no! Oh no! That's not good. Well, I hope this thing has a shrink feature because we're not gonna fit under this bridge. That's gonna be fun. Oh god. Yeah, that's gonna be an issue. Of course, Murphy's Law. They really need to make it so that if you spawn where if you get the custom oil rig for large boats, you cannot have any other islands in that particular map. No other islands, no other structures, nothing. So anyway, going down here, we have the forward crew cabins. Or passenger cabins, I don't know exactly which. But, yeah. So here I believe we have the captain's cabin and or first officer's cabin, or no, this is another crew area, my bad. Which leads out to another open promenade. I'm guessing there would have been windows here, but due to Stormworks not having proper windows for all these new wedges, they're going to remain open. So, yay! But now we're on the boat deck. If it wasn't obvious enough. This leads down to a lower promenade. We'll get to that soon. But yeah, I mean, the ship is greatly detailed. And I know Jesse and them went all out on this. I know this is about as optimized as they can get for the game. So basically, if Stormworks decides to properly optimize their stuff, anything else that may be added later is going to be determined on whether or not Stormworks decides to actually optimize their game properly to where you don't get moon physics running ships this big and this detailed, okay? I'm just saying. So anyways, we got a little crossway here that leads out to both sides of the boat deck, port and starboard. Got more hallways with more cabins, and then it comes to a dead end. So, that's this deck covered, so now I'm going to go out through here. Or I should say this portion of the deck, I should say. So I'm going to go over here. Is there anything else to see? Nope, there is not. Okay. So, I'm going to head back forward and then go down into the promenade. Or promenade, however they pronounce it, I don't know. It's like, I don't know how to pronounce it. Heck if I know. But, yeah. I will say, I've been noticing a few people have been asking me questions, regarding my absence in a lot of Jesse's recent videos. I know some people were making some rather, crude assumptions, so I want to clear those up now. I know somebody had asked, if he and I got into a disagreement. The answer is no, we have not. It's just that Jesse and I both have been extremely busy, and we just have simply not had time to record. But we're hoping that will change rather soon. We're both hoping that we'll have a window that we can use to our advantage and to actually get a bit of a recording done. We don't know when that will be, but we're hoping it'll be sooner rather than later. So I just want to clear that up. So we're now in, I think, the forward passenger dining area, or space. But, yeah. Moving aft, we have all these open doorways. We have this beautiful promenade leading aft and then forward. Also, I apologize, I'm going to be coughing a lot in this, but then we have a little promenade side, I think, restaurant or cafe area, I think it is. I think it's a cafe. We have extreme lag. I'm getting concerned. Oh, God. Okay. I have a bad feeling about this. I need to see where we're at. Oh, God. There's, like, nowhere for me to go, so I don't know if the water's deep enough, but I might have to stop the ship. Okay, this is rather odd. When I walk aft, it glitches out and it's lagging, but, like, watch. Oh, well, it was. But then, yeah, here's the bar. We have a bar here. A promenade side bar. And then we have a lounge, a little dining area with a lounge. We have multiple stairwells going down at this point. Little vaults in the ceiling. More passenger dining area. Coming out aft, we now have the backmost deck. We have this back swimming pool, lifeboats, and a little tile thing. Speaking of lifeboats, that one there is not doing too good. I'd probably take a look at that. But yeah, if you guys are going to run this on an older computer, my advice to you is to have physics detail down to low so you can get the best performance you possibly can. But I'd also have any settings you have set to their lowest and or disabled settings because you'll get a lot more frame rate. Every ship I look at or do videos of on here, I have my settings set to low because that's the only way I can run it on these older computers. So going down the main staircase. Going down the main staircase, we enter the main passenger areas with all the passenger cabins. So going forward past the stairs, we have another passenger gathering area, a forward lounge with a little bar with nice wood paneling. Got a couch, some chairs, another staircase, an area leading outside over to the open deck. We have a cargo hold. We have a rather massive cargo hold, I should say. Don't mind the water glitch, that's normal. You would not want that open, that's all I can say. So yeah, going across here, we have another passenger area with more cabins. And then we have the staircase again. Like, that's how accurate this ship is, you know. If you take one turn, you could end up lost inside this thing. And you wouldn't want to be in it if it were to sink. Not that that's going to happen on this voyage. No. This thing totally won't sink. I assure you. It will not sink. You will be perfectly fine. So as you can see, a lot of passenger cabins. Oh my God, I can't move. Well, Ironclad, man, that's just on my computer. This thing only lags on my computer. So now we're at the main boarding area. You've got the boarding doors and the main boarding lounge with the information desk. More cabins going down all the way aft. Oh, excuse me, sorry. But yeah, I know hardly anybody will see this live, but listen, in the playback, look, please go and look at the description because I have linked this ship in the video description. So I really, really recommend checking it out. Especially if you have a good enough PC that where you can run it with everything at high detail. It is going to be very much a good... I'm just going to say this, if you have a good PC that can run this game with full graphics, everything at their highest settings, then you're going to be in for an absolute treat with this ship. It is immaculately well done. So I believe we have a crew washroom, I think. Yeah. God, there's so many staircases throughout this ship. You really, really would not want to get lost aboard this thing. It is a labyrinth, a maze. And this is actually my first time properly looking at it. Like, I looked at it when I was talking to Jesse recently, just after he released it. But this is the first time I've had my own full comprehensive look at it. Oh, I see we have a bit of rats. I need to tell the ship's main pest control about that. Another stairwell, probably leading down to the cargo hold. And then here we have one of the main dining rooms with a beautiful vaulted ceiling, which sadly, by the time of this ship's life as the Oceanos, this had sadly been removed. A lot of what you see didn't make it into the ship's final tenure as Oceanos. I don't know much about the ship's history after, as far as before it became the Oceanos. That is for my friend Jesse to explain. He's basically, I guess you could say I guess you could say he's an Oceanos historian / enthusiast, as it were. He's spent the last, I think, 5 to 6 years studying this ship, its history, the sinking, everything. And if y'all have any questions, just by all means, I'm pretty sure he'd be happy to answer them when he has time. But anyway, moving, I guess, well, aft, if I can actually move. We have another stairwell. Vaulted ceiling. Got an area back here, which leads to another stairwell. And then back here we have the galley space, I believe. Yes, this is where the galley would be. Oh no, here's the galley. Okay. Yes, we have the galley. And we have a freezer where we lock up the body. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to stop right there. I don't mind the freezer. Don't mind the Antonia Graza through freezer where we hide the bodies. That's totally normal. Anyways, here we have a locked door. So I believe that's the end of this deck, but it is not the end of the tour. No, sir. We still have a lot to cover, and I believe I'm going to no clip. Oh, not that. That's not coming until a little bit later. A little longer than a few minutes later. Let me see. I think there was a stairwell. Yeah, right here. So I believe this will go down to where I need to go next. Okay. So we have, I guess this is crew areas. I would think, yeah, these are crew areas. Yeah, these are, yeah, that's exactly what these are. These are crew areas slash cargo access, and I'm worried my game is dying. Okay, so I think I'm in the cargo hold now, if I'm guessing right. Okay, so we have a watertight door. More cargo space. Got a fire extinguisher. We got tons of cargo space, but there's an engine room, and I want to try and find that. Okay, so this is either me being aha! Psychith, I found it. Alright, so we are now entering the generator room. Now, if y'all recall the Oceanos, this is where trouble started. They were going to clean a sewage pipe in here that ran from this room into the sewage tank room, the water treatment room, whatever you want to call it. And unfortunately, they were going through really heavy waves, and then suddenly, without any kind of warning whatsoever, the sea chest blew open. Like the inner wall there, that bit there of the sea chest failed. And the crew had to evacuate this room almost instantaneously, and as a result, they never had a chance to properly put the pipe back on. In fact, they didn't get a chance to. Now, I could be wrong on all of this. I'm just going off of what I remember. Again, Jesse has better details regarding this, regarding the whole incident. He has the film that will be releasing this August on the 4th. So y'all might want to look out for that. It's called Oceanos, a sinking analysis. It'll be premiering on his channel on August 4th of this year. So, you might want to check that out if you find it interesting. But here is what I like to see. We are now at the heart of the beast. This is the ship's main engine room. And this is what you call some serious horsepower. Okay, this is like a multi-story diesel engine. Now, I hit the sink mech. I don't know if we're sinking or not, but, wait, did it hit? I can't remember if it hit or not. I gotta look. Yeah, it hit. Do I have to keep this on? Huh, weird. So, well, I don't know what I need to do now. I think I'm gonna try and shut off air to this thing. There we go. Alright, now that we've stopped, I've actually got a good bit of frame rate back, as crazy as it sounds. So we have the main engine room, and I'll go into no clip mode just so you can see just how massive this is. It's huge. So, from this corner of the room, this is the main engine room. You've got the tops of the diesel engines here. So this would be level 1. Going down is level 2 with all the catwalks and all the controls for the engines here. Going down again, you have the bottom level. And as you can see, we are already taking on a rather concerning list. Should be nothing to worry about, though. Totally not going to abandon before all these non-existent passengers. And up here, even though we're not supposed to see it, this is the engine room skylight here. That's what this is. Yes, can't be added, but I'm sure it oh yeah, oh yeah. Here's my calling to the little trouble. From the store, after they get my food live, let the insanity begin. Zip. Alright, after teleporting basically that was like I think it'd be on the bridge. It'd have to be. But, yeah, the ship does have a working PA system, a working phone system here, as you can see. Yeah, as you can see, I cut power to the generators, so I basically shut them off. These are all your lights here. That's your light panel. But, yeah, all I can say is if you're going to sink the ship, your best bet as far as exploring it as it sinks is to just stop it. Because then you'll have more frame rate. Like right now, I've got a fairly decent amount of frame rate from just stopping the ship moving. And I know... Son of a bitch. I was worried about this. This thing on the ice pack so it'll cool down. Alright, so alright. So I've got the stream back up and running. So yeah. I've got the wave set to full, but I don't know how. Hold on. Yes, I'm letting Jesse know, but I've got my hand over the thing so you don't see a Skype, so you're not going to be... That way y'all don't have to be driving him nuts. In other words, I don't want y'all to drive him nuts, alright? That's why my hand was over the screen. That is strictly confidential. Okay, I'm trying to get the waves up to like massive heights, but I can't. It must be too close to shore, but anyways, I'm gonna kind of go and just... Oh, never mind. I think I'm gonna go back in and check and see how the ship is doing. I would imagine it's doing quite terribly, seeing as it's resting on a good chunk and a half of water. So I am going to go and... Oh my god, my brain is dying. Okay, for some reason the ship is lagging whenever you walk in. I'm getting kind of concerned about that because I'm getting moon physics. But as you can see, the list is now very severe. It's already gotten to the point where now the only boats you could launch are going to be on this side, and even then that's going to be treacherous, especially for passengers. Over here, the launching is going to be impossible. There's nothing you can do except lower the boats empty and cut them all loose. Let them drift. Alright, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go and open the boarding doors because that's totally what we do here. Alright, I'm going to go and open this and just see. Alright, let's see. How far are we from the wall? Okay. Don't mind me, I'm totally not lowering this down. Okay, I can't get the gangway to lower for some reason. Oh, that would have done some damage to the ship. But now I've got a good way of keeping track as to how far down we get on this side. So pretty soon, this whole boarding area is going to start taking in water, which will be rather bad, given this current situation. Now, I know Jesse said there was an Easter egg, but I still can't find it. He's literally the only person who knows where it is, who could probably give me an idea as to where the heck it is. But unfortunately, that is not the case. Anyway, I'm going to go below and just call it a day. Oh, and also, yes, this ship has shear. Now, I don't know who this one person is who's joined me in this crazy endeavor, but in all seriousness, welcome to the madness. Okay, I'm probably going to just no-clip down to the engine room. I don't want to risk crashing my game. Alright, so how bad is the... Oh, that's bad. Okay. Yeah, that's an issue. But the real question is, what happens if I open the door and let the engine room flood? Would that change the sinking? Or do I have to follow the rules? Screw it, I'm doing it. And suddenly the watertight door fails. Absolutely annihilates everything. Meanwhile... You think? There we go. Now we're getting some problems. Now the ship is going to do a full free surface effect. You know it's bad when the door breaks. That's a bit of an issue. There we go. Oh god. Oh no! Water's coming in. That's bad. Well, that's not good. I think it's time we leave. Like, now. I will say, Jesse did kind of mention this thing may or may not go Poseidon on me. Well, so that's gonna be fun, I'm sure. Imagine that. Going Poseidon adventure on a ship that's nowhere near related to the Queen Mary. Now there's an angle you don't see every day. Now there's something you don't see every day. Now, at this point, you can see the waves are rapidly messing up the ship at this point, stability-wise. I can't get the wind direction to have them all hit on the port side, so this is the best I can do. But at this point, with each wave, the water's going to come in quicker and quicker. It'll just be gradual because I've got the engine and the generator room both flooding. In fact, to prove my point here. As you can see, water is rapidly flooding into the engine room. God, imagine being trapped down here. That would be terrifying. Thankfully nobody was. Everybody in the ship was able to get out. Thank goodness. But imagine being trapped down here. This would be terrifying. I mean, look here. Take a look here. This is the rate of flooding right now in the generator room. No joke. I was only down here a few minutes ago. This is the water level inside. And this is all-terrain water. Literally crashing in and out of the ship right now. Like, this is, I guess you could say, a Stormworks version of the free surface effect. Except I have the engine room flooding along with the generator room. Now, in the real sinking, this door was closed, but here I want to keep it open because I want to see if it changes anything. As I can see, not much. So that means this door is now going to be closed and locked. But you can literally see just how much of this is flooded. But now, all of this water in here is going to go and flood up. Now, you know it's bad if you're able to take a stroll on the freaking staircase pillars. But now, as you can see, this whole room here is now rapidly flooding. In fact, with each wave, it does this. And the water's only going to get higher. In fact, I believe it's already going to start flooding this deck, I'd imagine. Yep, it's flooding it right here. There it is. Now the real question, though, is how far is it really listing over? Let me see here. Yeah, my mom and them are watching a movie downstairs. Do not question it. That's normal. So the water is not quite to this deck yet, but I want to keep the waves going so it'll give other areas a chance to flood. Because we are still sinking. That's obvious. Excuse me. Oh yeah, we're definitely sinking. I can tell by looking at the ship we are in bad trouble. Oh, yeah, I'm looking. This thing is going straight down now. Like at this point, water is flooding through here and into the... Yeah, water is now cascading in and it's going... I can already tell you where it's going. It's going down here. All the water here is going down from this deck, down these stairs, into these lower portions of the ship. Which I believe will be the dining room. This will be the first major passenger area that will start to flood. It'll start to flood very soon. It's only a matter of time at this point. And what I'm thinking about doing is I'm thinking of opening one of the forward holds so that I'm thinking of opening this backmost cargo hold here and now letting water come in through this. But I don't know yet. I may not. And I'm going to play God real quick and I'm going to put the time back. I mean, this really can give you an idea of just how bad the list is. Huh. In fact, I wouldn't be all that surprised if water's now on the front. Like slowly creeping up at the very tip of the bow by now. Well, I say that. It's getting rather close, but not close enough. But I can tell you where it is getting in. Right here. Like the boarding area is letting in a good bit of water. Dining room still has not flooded yet. And dining room has not started flooding, but it's only a matter of time at this point. Because, yeah, right now, each wave forces the ship over more and more. It may, and I think it's going to tip. It's probably going to tip any time now. This is where it really starts to get to where you want to start paying attention. Oh, yeah. That right there will do it in. That whole boarding door is underwater in these waves. And you can tell the ship is it's slowly, yet visibly dropping. That let in a good bit of water, I'm sure of it. Now let's watch. Yeah, what I'm going to do is basically go and open each boarding door on both sides of the ship so that when it does start to go, it'll go fairly quickly. But imagine looking at the door and seeing that. That is... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This is a little concerning. The ship is like, I think, over 90 degrees at this point each time. I think I see what he's saying now. I think we're going to roll. We're going to roll at any minute. Oh, yeah, but now you can see with each wave, I think this thing is dipping lower and lower into the water. Yeah, let me turn the waves off and see if water will start flooding in through the boarding doors. I believe that answer. Yes. Okay, she's starting to roll back. But it's not enough. Now the ship is low enough into the water to where it's going to start taking in water from this boarding door. And this is just going to increase the sinking. Oh, yeah, now, yeah, it's going to go. It's going to start going now. I'm going to no-clip to various areas to show the flooding. Yeah, now the dining room is starting to take on water. Below decks, engine room is fairly flooded. That's because I simply let the door... That's because I had let the door remain open. I'm going to go down and open it up again. This time just to go on and just simply even out the sinking. I'm sure by now other areas of the ship are slowly flooding. Oh no, I take that back. Actually, areas are rapidly flooding, seeing as the generator room is now having a torrent of water spill out. But at this point in time, the ship is in absolute, honest-to-God dire straits. It's only a matter of time now before it starts to plunge, because that boarding door there is completely underwater, and it's letting a mess. I'm going to pause this and let the freaking phone cool off. Freezer! Alright, I'm back. So at this point, the ship is in really bad trouble. Oh, but I'm not. Money! Nah, the ship totally... I totally didn't just steal $7,000 from this ship. So at this point now, we are in rather dire straits. I say that because now water is slowly creeping aboard the open deck. And once that happens with any ship, they coming. Okay, I'm just going to shoot it to you straight. This usually, the end is near for the... Can you hear me? Anyways, at this point, the list is absolutely non-recoverable. I mean, at this point, water is flooding almost every area. You can see water starting to rapidly flood the open deck, which means only one thing. It's now getting inside the ship in numerous areas. Multiple areas are most likely now underwater. Swimming pool is empty, obviously. But the bow is now rapidly taking in water. Like, at this point, water is now in the staircase area. In fact, you can see it's now rapidly flooding in at this time. Primarily because... Well, not because, but... Yeah, now water is flooding down these stairs into the dining space, which is now completely flooded on one side. Pretty sure the galleys are starting to flood too at this point. Engine room. Almost mostly flood. Almost as flooded as the not as flooded as the generator room, if not a little less. All I can say is once water starts to reach the other door, these open areas here, it's going to all be over. Because then that'll just let massive amounts of water into the ship. And unfortunately, let's just say the guy upstairs heard that and is now reaping his wrath upon this rather unfortunate vessel. If that gives you an idea of how bad the list is, my character's level. The ship, as you can see, my character is quite level-headed on this very tipsy, drunken tub. It's like this boat's tipsier than I am, and and coming from me, that's saying something. As you can see, the bow is practically underwater at this point. No surprise there. And I will say, this sinking is... Oh! Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, this is not good. That's it. Time to run. Time to run. Time to run. Time to, honest to God, run. When the ship gets to where it's about to catch, you know it's serious. Oh, this is out of a nightmare. Look at this. Oh, wow. Pretty soon, this thing is not going to come back. If the waves keep up the way they are, this thing will not come back. It'll go, and it'll go very, very quickly. It is only a matter of time, at this point before this thing goes full turtle on me and goes on it completely Poseidon. It's only a matter of time. With the way it's listing, it will be very soon. Like at this point, all I can do is get out to an open area and prepare to jump or swim or no clip or something. Because these last two things here nearly toppled the ship. Yeah, watch. Look here. Oh, I think this is it. I think this might be it. Yeah, see, it all gets just to the point where it could tip over, and then at the last minute it recovers. At the last minute it recovers. But there's this forward door here at the very bow. I want to try and open it if I can get to it. If I can get to it! I can't get to it. This thing is like literally crashing me. I mean, you can literally see this thing is hanging on. This thing is literally on one of the finest threads possible between completely capsizing and just going on its side, flying Enterprise style. It is on that thin of a fine-lined thread. And I think that thread may have just been tipped. Let's see. Oh yeah, I can definitely tell each time it rolls, it gets lower and lower onto that one side. Pretty soon, if this keeps up, it will capsize. I can tell you straight up by looking at it, and that's not what I wanted to do. Quick! Get back aboard! Alright, open. So that'll only help increase the sinking. Oh god. Oh no! No, no, no! No, no, no! No, no, no! Back on the bridge, back on the bridge. Oh god, this is not good. This is not good. Well, Monsieur Gillette, I'm afraid you are right. They am going to die. Well, Mr. Gillette, it appears you, sir, are right. It appears I'm going to die. I mean, I can really tell just by looking at this thing that it is going to go. It is at that fine of a line between staying, like sinking straight on its side or going full Poseidon. Like, look at this, look at this. How is it not completely capsizing at this point? It is literally, look at this. It is vertical on its side. It is at the threshold of full capsize, and yet it doesn't capsize. But at this point, it is at such... Wait, is it broken? No, it's not broken. It just won't open. Alright, I'm going to turn the way. plunging. Right now, at this very moment, it is now starting to plunge. And now, oh yeah, it's going. I think something went. I can tell because this thing is going. Like, I'm looking right now. This is now starting to plunge. It's official. Yep, it's official. It's gone. It is going. I can tell you without a doubt, the ship is officially plunging right now on screen. It is happening right in front of you right now, ladies and gentlemen. At this point right now, the ship is physically plunging. Now this should look very familiar. Oh, now that's not creepy at all. Look at this. That is how much the ship is underwater right now. Oh yeah, it's going. It is officially going. Oh my God. It's going so fast. Now in my screen's time, it's taken about an hour and 11 minutes for it to sink. On a better PC, it probably takes far less than that. But this is the end of the Jean Laborde right here. It is going down straight to the bottom of the ocean. I say going straight down, and then it literally hits the bottom of the ocean. Oh, that's funny. But at this point, the water is going to go... I can tell you what's going to happen now. All of the spaces that haven't yet flooded are now going to completely flood due to the fact that the ship has bottomed out. Which means all this open space, all this here is going to start rapidly filling with water, as you can see. And that's going to it'll slowly go down. Like all those areas you see there are now letting in massive amounts of water. And now it's going to cause the stern to gently ease back and settle gently down on the bottom. I can tell you this with certainty because right now it's physically doing what I'm saying now. We actually sailed a fair distance away from the oil rig. You can see now the ship is basically going down in a reverse Britannic style sinking where it just goes and it touches the bottom, rotates onto its side, and then gently lays back. It slips under and lays back while doing so. And it'll fall over and land on the seabed on its side. Again, the link to this ship is in the video description. And if you have a good enough computer for this game, I highly recommend checking it out. And as I said in the beginning of this stream, the Oceanos version of this model and a few other variants, I believe, will be releasing soon. I can't give an approximate date because that is classified. All I'm saying is later versions of this ship in its life will be coming fairly soon. Unfortunately, though, for this version, its life has come to an end. So this is an alternate history. What if the Jean Laborde sunk before becoming Oceanos? And here's the Jean Laborde right now. You can see its bow has hit the bottom. And it is going to just currently settle down on the seabed. And that'll be where it rests. So yeah. I believe that'll conclude this, and I'll see y'all later.